Hey, what is going on? We got a early release today, not a half day, early release. We're still going to get almost all the time in for classes, so I understand it could be pretty draining for you, especially late in the day. It's doom, 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 doom. But at least you get to go home early. But it is a full day of school, just minus the lunch and recess, the two fun parts of school. All right, so we're going to pick up right where we left off. That's the way you read a book. Pick right up where you leave off. And those visions, Sawyer's visions, that it's not getting easier. It's getting worse. So it seems like they messed up somewhere along the way. We ended right there with, I don't know. I don't know. They were talking about how they think there is this like cult group that is going to be trying to kill people who either are gay or support people who are gay. I don't know, but seeing that plus the graffiti and the timing of this, the whole idea of it turns my stomach. Who would want to believe in a God like that? If God is not like totally in love with all people he created, why would anybody want to believe in him? 5 things a real God should be. 1, not a hater. 2, that about sums it up. All right. Anytime you're talking about God or things like that, I mean, it's not really for a public school to talk about. So you make your own decision with that stuff. After a minute, Sawyer nods. It fits. It's blanking sad, but it fits. He looks at the window for a long minute. He's watching the vision again. The bus stops near the college, and we walk to campus. There are more people wandering around today than yesterday. The stop sign has been replaced. All the snow piles are melted, and the tree buds are just noticeably more in bloom than yesterday. The grass is sodden, and the botanical gardens on the property look pretty bedraggled. But spring is clearly on its way, and the vision clock is ticking. How do the buds and the ivy compare today? I ask. We wander around the quad, really looking at each building now that we have a good feel for the lay of the land. Really close, Sawyer says. We go to the other end of the quad to make sure we haven't made any mistakes. Top of the next column, and sure enough, there are old ivy colored buildings, streets, little stop signs, and sidewalks on the side of things, too. Sawyer stops in front of the gorgeous ivy colored building as a few people come out of the wooden door. He stares at it. I read the words above the door. It's a dormitory. Charles Hitchcock Hall. After a minute, Sawyer looks all the way down towards Cobb Hall. Then he looks back at the dormitory in front of us. I wonder if I have the wrong building, he murmurs. I mean, just because I see the stop sign in the vision doesn't mean it's near the scene of the shooting. They're different frames. He puzzles over it some more. No, can't be a dorm room. There's a whiteboard and tables. He shakes his head like he's reprimanding himself. We start walking. A cute guy. Wait, is she checking out another guy when Sawyer is right there? You're not supposed to do that, are you? A cute guy wearing funky glasses comes out of the dormitory and sticks a flyer to the building wall. He walks into the quad, heading towards us, handing out more flyers. He looks at us, hesitates, then holds one out and smiles brightly. GSA is teaming up with the Monet Choir for our final spring food drive and fundraiser. Meeting in the Hitchcock Green Room tomorrow night. You should join us. Top of the next column. I reach out and take it. The guy moves on, heading towards the next dorm. I read the info. 8 o'clock tomorrow night. GSA, Gay Straight Alliance, I say, looking up. Sawyer nods, his voice taking on a trepid tone. Trepid is like you're not quite sure of something. Trepid. Oh, there's no results? I promise, that's what it means. Sounds like this could be the group we're looking for. Plus, the time is after sunset, which would make the room naturally darker, though they'd have lights on, presumably, like you can imagine. He frowns. I wonder where this green room is. Let's go find it. But the door requires a student ID to unlock it. We wait until someone exits, and Sawyer catches the door before it closes. We walk into Hitchcock Hall. And to our right is a large room with brick walls, portraits, couches, and a piano. Green room? I guess. I see one of the flyers with "here" written over the location in the black marker. That was easy, Sawyer says, but it's not the room in the vision. He looks all around as if hoping to find the items from the scenes. I mean, I guess they could bring tables and chairs in here and a whiteboard, but he looks at the windows and shakes his head. No, this isn't it. The walls are wrong. I flop down in a chair, suddenly weary of it all. Nothing is lining up. How are the visions? I say, top of the next column. Barely even a question, just a repetition of every other time. Bad. I lean forward and rest my face in my hands, and for the first time, I feel like we've completely run out of ideas. And there's nothing new? Sawyer sighs sharply, and I know I've asked him that once too often. I cringe, not that he can see it, and follow up with a muffled, sorry, before he says anything. We go back outside to wander aimlessly around the campus again. Before we can figure out what to do next, my cell phone vibrates in my pocket. I look at Sawyer to see if he's screwing around, but he's not. I pull it out and look at the number, and it's Trey. I answer, "What's up?" Where the hell are you? I look at my watch, and it's after 6. No wonder my stomach is growling. Sawyer and I took the bus to UFC. Mom and Dad are freaking out. They keep calling me and Rowan, and we're trying to run the stinking truck. It's a nightmare. We could actually use your help if you hadn't quit, you know. I shrug. Maybe if they buy me a new cell phone, they can get a hold of me. You may want to mention that. Top the next column. I'm going to tell them that you called me from, oh, crap. What do you want me to tell them? So obviously, the first time I read this, I was like, wait, what's going on there? I thought at first like she called him like a bad name or something when he answered. I was like, no, she didn't do that. So maybe somebody in here, you know, you're a better reader than I am, but I'll pause just in case. In case nobody came up with it, which I'm probably did. But like, how did you get in touch with her? I guess he could say, well, I called Sawyer's number, but then that would lead her to hanging out with Sawyer. I don't know. It just seems like Jules has like way too much freedom right now after her getting in trouble. But I mean, I guess what are they going to do? Like kick her out of the house? Yeah, that's a possibility. Top of the next column there. I look up at Rockefeller Chapel and see a door open, inviting in the spring air. I step inside and see a group of adults wearing choir robes, rehearsing. Tell them I took a really long walk, looking desperately for a payphone. Whatever. Did you figure anything out? Do you even know what a payphone? I don't even think you can find a payphone in Auburn anymore. Payphone. All right, whatever. Did you figure anything out? I glance at Sawyer, who is sitting on the chapel steps with his head in his hands. No. I pause, and then I say, tell Mom I'm coming to help you. We're only about 20 minutes away. I hear Rowan utter a muffled swear word in the background. Trey sighs. Thanks, Jules. We hang up, and I go back outside, and I hold my hand out to Sawyer. Hey, I say with fake enthusiasm. Want to go run the giant Trucko balls with Team DeMarco? He looks up at me, and despite the situation, a slow grin spreads across his face. That actually sounds awesome, he says. All right, this is just kind of where I got to call, like, hey, time out here. Like, if they are serious about trying to save lives, they are pretty much leaving without any more answers. And it does look like the shooting is going to be imminent, like the next day, maybe. I suggest they stay around a little longer. And then imagine the dad's face, like Sawyer's dad or his grandfather, if they go by and they see Sawyer working in the DeMarco's food truck. That, you got one black eye for doing what you did before. Maybe he's going to get another black eye. I don't know. 33. Trey's eyes light up when he sees us. Thank the gods, he breathed. Did you see the line? How could we miss it? Rowan's hair is stuck to her forehead with sweat. She grabs a towel and wipes her face, then throws the towel into the dirty bin. Blown away, she says. I don't understand why you guys enjoy this truck so much. Okay, there have been a couple times. I just haven't mentioned it, but oh, what did I just do? I messed something up. Like a lot, I think. But there have been all the way back to one. There we are. Blown away, she says right there. There have been a couple times where, I mean, we're talking about a school shooting here. And she just said blown away. I remember somebody said they're going to murder us. I mean, not exactly a good choice of words right there. All right, let's get back to the book here. Blown away, she said. I don't understand why you guys like this truck so much. Top of the next column. I give Sawyer a hasty tour, show him how we do orders, and set him up, filling bread bowls with meatballs and sauce so we can catch up on the backlog. I make him taste everything. This is excellent, he says, his mouth full. Don't be stealing our recipe now, Trey says as he hands an order through the window to a customer. Sawyer laughs, but he shoots me an anxious look that says, does he know about our parents? I shake my head and start grating fresh mozzarella like it's going out of style. No wonder you're blown away. You've got no. All right, I had to pause. I don't even know that cooking term. It's French. And guess what? You don't need to know that cooking term unless you're going to go cook French food. So I don't know. I've worked in restaurants before. I've never heard that thing. So don't worry too much about it. I usually read ahead so that if like there's a tough word that's coming up for me, like I don't want to look too much like a fool when it comes up because I don't know every word in the English dictionary. That one escaped me though. I did not even see that one. So it's all good. You're out of everything. Trey gives me a scornful look. Oh, we had everything prepped. I assure you. Again, I refer your gaze to the line out front and ask you to kindly note that it's been like this for 4 hours. Point taken. We'll set you back up. Right, Agnati? Yes, boss. Sawyer says. I look around and it feels a bit too crowded in here. Ro, you want to go outside and take orders and hand them through to Trey? That way we can go down the line a bit and we can get things moving faster. Top of the next column. Good call. Trey mutters. Gladly, Ro says. It is blanking hot in here. I look at her as she leaves. When did she start cussing? Yeah, that would be today, Trey says. Sawyer laughs. He works really fast, and once he's caught up with the bread bowl orders, he looks for other things to do. How can I help? I grab bunches of fresh spinach from the cooler and shove them at him. Rinse, spin, steam, 2 minutes, and rough chop. Got it? Then garlic and onions over in that cooler. You okay chopping onions? Pff, of course, he says, like I just insulted him. And I freaking love that he knows everything I'm talking about. I remember my dreams of leaving love notes made of green peppers for him on the cutting board and laugh under my breath. I think that's from the first book, right? Once I have the cheese tub filled, I chop tomatoes, and then the orders start getting filled again, and the line begins moving. Okay, Trey says, when we have a good rhythm going. Catch me up. Are we still looking at Monday or Tuesday for the thing? Top of the next column. Don't know, I say. For a while, we were actually thinking tomorrow night, but now we're not sure. Still, Sawyer's visions are so bad he can't drive, and he's seeing them everywhere. Tomorrow night. Yeah, great. At least if it's tomorrow, it'll be over soon, Sawyer says, moving to get onions. He looks in the caddy to see how we dice them and starts in. His knife skills are pretty great, and I'm freaking in love all over again. So what's the plan? Trey asks. Do we have one? I say, and I feel really helpless because we don't have a plan at all, despite my promise to Sawyer that we'd have one by now. I think what we need to do is forget about the classroom, Sawyer says decisively, and focus on the sidewalk and the shooter guy and girl walking there. If we stop her, the rest of the plan doesn't come together for them. If she doesn't show up, I bet the other one or two abandon the plan. Trey gets backed up, so Rowan pops in to help with a stack of new orders. You guys better not die while I'm gone, she says. I mean it. Crap, I say, top of the next column, remembering I've got to get you to the airport. Yes, you do. You ruin this for me, and I ruin your face. Wow. Wow. Rowan is really starting to have a potty mouth. Rowan smiles sweetly and hands off another order through the window. Wow. I glance at Sawyer, and he's grinning. He looks at me. I freaking love you guys. Can I work at your place? Um, we all say, knowing it was a joke, but I change the subject back to what Sawyer just said. Anyway, I think you're right, Sawyer. We don't have enough information. So we go with what we know. All right. And that is a good place for us to stop. Not a very, it's actually not a good place for us to stop. But considering the amount of time we've been reading, I say it's a plenty good